They're one thing you can see it everywhere. At baseball games, at street carts, at backyard cookouts. It is one of the most familiar and most popular foods in America. Cheap, quick, easy to eat, and so common that most people never stop to question it. The hot dog. But hold on for a second, and the name starts to feel a little strange. Why do we call a sausage in a bun a hot dog? What does this food have to do with a dog? It sounds less like the name of a snack and more like some kind of joke that somehow got out of hand. The truth behind the name is stranger, funnier, and much more historical than most people expect. In this video, let's take a closer look at how one of America's most iconic foods ended up with one of the strangest names in everyday life, right here on the Daily Why. Before we even get to the name, we have to start with the food itself, the sausage. Sausages are ancient, like really ancient. Some historians believe they go back more than 3,000 years, with mentions in Homer's Odyssey. The idea was simple. Take bits of meat, season them, stuff them into a casing, and you have a compact, flavorful meal. Fast forward a couple of millennia to Germany, where sausages became a serious craft. Germans perfected everything. Bratwurst, Frankfurters, Wieners. Specifically, the city of Frankfurt is often credited with popularizing the Frankfurter in the 15th century, while Vienna gave us the Wiener. When German immigrants came to the United States in the 1800s, they naturally brought their beloved sausages with them, and Americans loved them too. But sausages weren't always the easiest to eat while walking around, so someone had the clever idea of putting them inside a bun. That simple move transformed the sausage into something portable, fun, and perfect for fairs, picnics, and eventually, baseball games. But at first, these weren't called hot dogs. They were usually called Frankfurters, Franks, or Wieners, depending on the background of the vendor. And here's where things get interesting. In the late 1800s, there was already a joke circulating about sausages. Back then, food safety wasn't exactly trustworthy. People were suspicious of what went into their meat. Rumors spread that unscrupulous butchers used all sorts of scraps, including supposedly dog meat. It wasn't true for most vendors, but the joke stuck. People would jokingly call them dog or dachshund sausages because the long, thin shape reminded them of the dachshund dog breed. That connection between dachshunds and sausages is one of the earliest seeds of the term. To really understand how the name took off, you have to picture New York City in the late 19th century. German immigrants were selling sausages on street corners, often shouting out to attract customers. They'd sometimes advertise dachshund sausages as a playful nickname. And since they were usually served piping hot, hot plus dachshund sausages. And you can start to see how the phrase hot dog was naturally born. It wasn't an official name at first. It was just slang, kind of like how we might nickname foods today. Now, here is where one of the most famous and debated stories comes in. Legend has it that a cartoonist named Tad Dorgan attended a baseball game in New York around 1901. Vendors were supposedly yelling, "Get your red-hot dachshund sausages!" Dorgan, trying to capture the moment in a cartoon, wanted to sketch the scene, but he ran into a tiny problem. He didn't know how to spell dachshund, so instead, he just wrote hot dog. His cartoon, as the story goes, made the name stick. Sounds perfect, right? Well, there's a catch. Historians have never found that actual cartoon. Some say it's lost. Others argue it never existed. But whether the story is real or not, it reflects what was already happening. People were calling them hot dogs because the name was funny, catchy, and way easier to say than dachshund sausage. By the 1920s, the hot dog was cementing itself as an American classic. One of the biggest pushes came from Nathan's Famous in Coney Island. Nathan Handwerker, a Polish immigrant, started selling hot dogs in 1916 for just 5 cents each. At a time when food was getting expensive, Nathan's affordable prices made hot dogs a food for everyone, not just the wealthy. Nathan's success helped solidify the food and the name in American culture forever. By then, any debate over the term was over. Hot dog wasn't just a nickname anymore. It was the official name. What's fascinating is how the phrase went beyond just food. By the 1930s, people started using hot dog as an exclamation, like saying, wow. It was cheerful, playful, and full of energy, just like the food itself. And of course, hot dogs became tied to American culture in a huge way. They're at backyard barbecues, the 4th of July, ballparks, and even competitive eating contests. And through all of that history, the funny name never changed. So remember, the name hot dog wasn't a mistake. It was a legacy. It's a mix of cultural history, a touch of dark humor, and proof that sometimes the things that start as a joke end up becoming the most irreplaceable icons of all. If this story surprised you, hit that like button and share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Why for more hidden stories behind the everyday world. What simple thing should we uncover next? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.